everyone, this is Queen Cleopatra and you're watching the life of Queen Cleopatra. Tonight, um, yes, I just want to take, not really congratulations, but I saw what happened in South Africa with President Ramaphosa and the leaders of the March to March protest, sorry. So I just want to say I'm thankful because I did make a video where I asked that they should meet, in Parliament or in President Ramaphosa's office or, in such a type of setting where they can then discuss in a civil way what should happen further. So I'm glad this happened and I'm glad and I'm sure God is also glad. So I would like to commend President Ramaphosa for this step and also the March to March leaders. I also want to say to the March to March leader, I think, is it Pulukwani? I don't really know how to pronounce your name, I'm sorry. But I know it's with a P. But anyway, because I saw that you specifically, not the center, but that you took the initiative and you said that the people should protest in a peaceful way. They should not, bring any more chaos. And this is a mark of a great leader. So I commend you and I hope that if you get the chance to come into Parliament, that you specifically, because I see that Jacinta is still riling people up. I'm not really for that. I understand why she's doing it, but I think that that is going to later on have, far-reaching consequences. But I thank you that you are listening and that if you go into Parliament, you will be responsible, you will, be a leader, be a person with wisdom, that acts with wisdom, that strategizes because peace is also a strategy, and that looks before he leaps. Because if you just rile up the people, like I said before, you will rile up the people, but in the long run, they will not have another goal as but to toy in these things. This is very good to toy for your rights, but what happens after that? You don't want to build a society of African people that is responsible, that take responsibility for the actions, because if you want the immigrants to leave, you are going to have a problem later on, like what I said before, where the businesses will be empty. And I know how the location works. It is low cost living. You will not have people selling you oranges anymore for $1 or fat cakes anymore for $1 so you can eat when you are hungry. You know what I mean? Because the CBD is too expensive. I don't even know if the CBD exists anymore, but yeah, it's too expensive. So you will have to take over those businesses and government will have to release people, SME funding. It will have to now step up and be a mature government, a government which is guided by God, a government, and I'm talking to President Ramaphosa. God wants the South African government to become a mature government, a government which looks after its people, a government which is responsible, a government which has a strategy, a government which has a plan. Because this is how the West comes to take over Africa. Africa does not really have strategies, leadership with strategy. It only has leaderships that see money and that only thinks about the money. Oh, if I get so much money, I will be rich. We must get out of that mindset. Obviously, you are the president, you will be, well paid. Get everything free from the government anyways. So, but you will have to have a strategy. You want a leader. I want the African leaderships, not just in South Africa, to think of what type of leadership they want to be. You want to be a mature leadership, a government that is respected by its people. That people are not, just doing as they want, because this is how it started in South Africa. Later on, the people, the government seemed as though it could not control its own people until, I started seeing some change where President Ramaphosa now stepped up and where, the March leaders and the president now could sit down and, talk about, have a meeting. I don't exactly know what they've talked about. I hope they can now make, harder rules, more strict rules for immigrants to come into South Africa. We know this also brings a lot of crime. These are the Nigerians bring the trafficking and those things. We know them for that. But to now handle it in a better way, if your laws are strict enough, then you will not have to deal with this type of chaos. So then to take the bull by the horns and to be the president that God wants you to be. I think the presidents should stop looking at, oh, well, I'm president now, I'm the leader of the free world, I can do what I want. No. You must know that you are leading people. People are looking up to you. So, yes, I will ask God in, the future, what type of president, what type of rules must I give, and all these things, because that is a very long discussion and that has to be specific. So I am not now, up to date with that yet. But I will ask God and I will come back to you. But I would just like to commend South Africa for the progress they have made. I hope that it goes on like that and that they will keep on training the people. Now you have to take the people into a higher, not really divinity, but higher mindset, to a higher frequency. So they can now adapt to the new system you are creating, because there are no more immigrants. Now they will have to be, take over the jobs of the immigrants, the businesses, like what they have said. And also the big thing that God wants Africa to do is now people understand why you have asked the immigrants to leave. We understand. Not everybody will understand, but I kind of see that point. But now you will have to work on your foreign relations, because a government that wants to be respected after you have made such a decision, you will now have to tread lightly. This is why I said the way you put the immigrants out, this was the problem. But now you will have to fix the foreign relations, because your people will now have to go to other countries. And yes, so it's a lot of things. But I just wanted to commend South Africa and President Ramaphosa and the March of March leader. Like I said, the guy, I think it's Pulukwani or something like that. I am not sure. I'm not ignorant. I just don't know how to pronounce the name. So I'm very glad about this. God is very happy about this. So this is Queen Cleopatra. Thank you.